And we are live. What's good, people? It's your man DL Saint. How y'all doing? Welcome, one and all, man. How y'all doing? Y'all know what it is. It's your man DL Saint. I'm back, y'all. I am back. Just checking the stream real quick. Let me make sure everything is good. And then just checking the stream real quick. Let me Yep, sounds like we're good. We'll do one more. Yeah, we are good. All right, y'all. What's happening? What's happening? Y'all ain't seen me in a minute. I know I left on Tuesday. I put some stuff up on. I did a stream. I put some stuff up on Monday. As you know, the storm was on its way. Hurricane Ian was inbound, and yeah, I had to make a decision. It was, my cousin and I decided to grab our daughters and leave. We left like 5 a.m. on Tuesday. We went to Atlanta. We had family there, and I just got back. So I hope y'all are well. I hope everyone here who decided to stay in the Tampa area, like Central Florida, I hope you guys are good. I hope all is well. But yeah, I just wanted to jump on and say what's up, that you guys know I haven't run away. I'm not gone for good. I was just gone for a little bit. Just for a little bit. So yeah. And it's like, I made a decision to go, yo. So here's the thing. This is what I want to talk about. Just right off rip. You know what I mean? Because I'm still kind of tired. To me, it was like a mission. Just like, get my family to safety. We watched the storm. We saw it come off of Cuba. And we're like, that's it. We're looking at all of the projections and all of the models. And it's like, you know what, bro? Let's go. And I know how dangerous, how lethal storms can be, especially hurricanes. And at the time, we were thinking it was going to be a Cat 3, maybe a Cat 4. It turned out to be a Cat 4, 2 miles per hour shy of a Cat 5. I've seen one Cat 5. Well, I've seen the fallout from a Cat 5 hurricane. That was Hurricane Andrew. And I went there when I was in the military. Actually got a couple medals for it. We went down for hurricane relief, and I'm here to tell you, I don't mess with hurricanes. Brother Hayoka, what's good, man? How you feeling? Good to see you. Glad you were here. So, I don't mess with hurricanes. If anyone's ever seen my stand-up, one of my funniest bit talks about hurricanes and earthquakes and tornadoes. I don't mess with hurricanes. I don't understand why people play with that. Like Mother Nature ain't no joke, y'all. And now you can see. If that hurricane had hit Tampa from the Gulf side, Tampa would be in ruins right now. You know what I mean? And let's just keep it 100. That was a Cat 5 storm when it hit. You know what I mean? It was like, 2 miles per hour away from being a Category 5. It was a Category 5 storm. You see what it did to Naples and Fort Myers. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? I feel bad for those people who are down there. There's a lot of work ahead. They got a lot of cleaning up to do. I know what a hurricane can do. I know what a hurricane of that magnitude can do. I saw it in Homestead, Florida. Miami was bad, but Homestead was like a war zone. That was back in 93. Brother Dusto, what's good, man? He just got back here, man. Me too. Like, me too. I don't play with that, bro. I don't play with that at all. It's not worth it, people. When I tell you I saw wood splinters about this long, and this was down in Homestead, right? About this long, stuck into cement slabs like a knife in a piece of wood. That's what I saw down there. Cars flipped over. We were in the middle of nowhere, right? We was just some big open field, nowhere near water. There was a big boat sitting there. The storm just picked it up and dropped it off in the middle of this field. This was Hurricane Andrew. There were like cement buildings, like concrete and cement buildings that were missing chunks of the building, which is missing, just blown out. I've never seen anything like it ever in my life. I'm like, yo, what the hell is this? So yeah, man, you must always put your family first. As an adult, as a parent, as a grown up, as a leader, right? You have to weigh all of the variables and come up with the best solution for your family, for your platoon, for your team, right? That's what you got to do. It was a no-brainer for us. We sat there, we watched, we had, we had already discussed it. Like, yo, let's see what it looks like when it comes off of Cuba. If it doesn't weaken, we out of here. It didn't weaken. It got stronger. And this particular hurricane, I'm talking about Ian now, Ian was way bigger and slower than Andrew. So people now are dealing with the aftermath. They saw what was going on. Like you guys all seen the footage. There was a family there in their home. The home was flooding. The water was rising. Emergency folks, the police and fire had already told people, like, this mandatory evacuation. If you don't leave, don't call us. We're not coming. They have rules. I think that if the wind is above 30, 39 or 40 miles per hour or something like that, they don't respond. So these people were just there. Brother, and that's what's good. Brother, good to see you. I'm glad I can report to you that I am safe. You know what I mean? I just left my gear. I have a portable kit that I kind of was putting together, but it wasn't quite ready. I grabbed, you can see the M14s on the ground. I took the important stuff with me. You know what I mean? Grab some weapons, grab some ammo, grab some MREs, grab my daughter, jumped in the vehicle, and off we went. You know what I mean? So that's another thing too, people. You should always be prepared. Have yourself a go pack. Be ready. Be ready. You never know when you might have to go. So yeah, that's what we did. We went to Atlanta. We weren't playing around. When we hit the road, all the scientists, all the meteorologists were saying that this storm was going to hit Tampa, St. Pete. And at the last moment, it made a turn, and it turned. So it hit south. So Sarasota and Point South, all the way down to Fort Myers, Naples and all that. Again, you guys know what it did. Anybody's been watching the news for like 72 hours, that was it. That's all CNN and MSNBC were covering, rightly so. But back to that family, man. It's a family. They're in this home, a really nice home. How you know it's a nice home? It's an expensive home because it's really close to the water, right? We all know there's money over there. The water's rising. They're putting all their stuff above, like on top of stuff. They're trying to keep things dry. Now they're just trying to keep the family dry. And they're trying to figure out what to do. They end up calling the newsroom of their local affiliate or something like that, the local affiliate. And the people in the newsroom were telling them, like, don't go into the attic. Can you get to the roof? There's a raging storm outside. And they want to know if they can get to the roof. Can you get to the roof? What? There's a hurricane out there. People, why not get out of the way of a hurricane? I can understand an earthquake. Why not get out of the way of a hurricane? You don't know when an earthquake is coming. In California right now, like cutting edge technology, I think it's something like 40 seconds or something like that, for real. They tell you like they get an alert, and then like 40 seconds later, maybe a minute or so and some change, you feel it. Right? So I don't know why people don't leave. It doesn't make sense to me. I understand the folks who can't afford to leave. That I understand. And you guys might hear some noises. My daughter making some food or something. If you hear something, that's what that is. But I can understand the people who can't afford to go. And that's, you know what I mean? Like, that's horrible. But it's at the same time, I still got to call bullshit on that. Hurricanes are slow. You can get on a bus, yo. You can get a Greyhound or a boat bus or whatever and get up out of town. You can have, hopefully you got family somewhere or friends that can send you some money and you can jump on a plane. You know what I mean? Don't mess with hurricanes. Don't mess with them. I haven't seen the official death tolls. I mean, last time I checked, they were unofficially somewhere around 15-ish or so. And that's when we left, early this morning. I think last night they were reporting around 15. Is what it is. Shout out to Governor DeSantis. He's really doing his job. He's stepping up into his leadership role. That's nothing to do with politics. This is everything about leadership and taking care of the people of your state. And that's what he did. You know what I mean? So shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. He was doing all the paperwork, getting all the declarations done way early. He's working with Washington hand in hand. He was able to put the politics aside and say, hey, man, talking to the federal government, talking to Biden, President Biden, we're going to need some help here. We got this big storm. And President Biden, shout out to him, too. He put politics aside. We're going to focus on the American people. And that's leadership right there, y'all. That's how it's done. Now everything's over and it's time to do the cleanup. It's time to go and recover those people who were lost. You know what I mean? It's time for all that. There's always time for politics on the back end. But they've done everything they can. You know what I mean? The leadership in the state of Florida and leadership in D.C. are doing everything they can to get help to those who need it, to get relief. And listen, people are going to need a lot of help. Everybody knows one thing about Florida. The insurance game down here is the true finesse. The true finesse. A lot of people are going to realize just how uninsured and or underinsured they are. There's going to be a big mess. There are going to be hearings. There's going to be people getting arrested. There's going to be all kind of stuff because most places in Florida, especially anywhere near water, it is hard to get insurance. And when you do have to pay insurance, it is a lot. You know what I mean? If you can get a policy written on your property and it's like $3,000, maybe $4,000 a year, you're doing good. So I just don't understand why people don't leave. But shout out to the elected officials, man. They're doing what they're supposed to do. Brother Hayoka, side note, most of our technology is based on explosive power. Now you see the power of the vortex. Yeah, galaxies, hurricanes, and tornadoes. Absolutely. I'm from the Midwest, so yeah, I know I'm from Cincinnati. I'm very familiar with tornadoes. Very, very, very familiar with tornadoes. I get it. And when we get you can kind of tell when tornadoes are coming. Now the technology with Doppler radar and all that kind of stuff, you hear the horns, you go straight to the basement. Everybody know what it is. And if you don't, you're going to pay a price. Tornadoes don't play. And hurricanes are more vicious, more powerful than tornadoes, even an F5. Like an F5, it was an F5, F6 or whatever they are. I forget the categories for tornadoes. But the Cat 5, I know for a fact, is the most powerful hurricane. And you can see with the pictures from space how mega that thing was. You know what I'm saying, brother? And I hate seeing the media blaming this on global warming. That's blaming people over a thing that happened before even more. I mean, you're going to see that. You're going to see that. I mean, you could talk to scientists, this whole global warming thing. This planet goes through cycles. Warming and cooling cycles have been going around since the planet's been around. I mean, the ice age was a thing. You know what I mean? And then it got really cold and it got warm. Right? It's one of those things. Now, are the chemicals in the air a factor? Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure of it. But the fact remains, when they do the readings, the water is getting warmer. Be it because of the chemicals or be it because it's just cycles, that the planet goes through. And who knows? Like everything's moving. Our planet is moving. Our sun is moving. Our solar system is moving. Our galaxy is moving. Everything moves. So, I mean, it is what it is. All I know, you can blame it on whatever you want to blame it on. You can cite whatever study you want to cite or whatever. The bottom line is that was a big ass storm. Get out the way. There was a big storm in Florida back in the day. I want to say around the turn of the century. Brother Doug's in the house. What's good, bro? And thank you, Brother Doug, for checking up on the brother. Brother Doug was hitting me up, making sure I was okay. Look, wanted to know if, me and the family was good. Thank you so much for that, brother. I appreciate it. You weren't the only one. It was man's people, reaching out, making sure everything is good. Has anybody heard from Melanie King? because she was in, we got here first. She was on the other coast. I wonder if anybody heard from Melanie King. I haven't seen her doing any lives. So, I mean, sure she's okay. I think it was mostly flooding over there, wind damage and stuff like that. But back to what I was talking about, there was this big storm, one of the biggest hurricanes that ever hit America. And I want to say this was like the early 1900s, early to mid 1900s, right? They didn't have the technology we have today. The men and women and the children who died in that event, it was what it was. They didn't have the technology. You know what I mean? They just didn't. So they didn't have a chance to get out the way or not. They knew storms were coming. They had very primitive technology. It's not like they had satellites. It's not like they had Doppler radar. They had nothing. They had whatever they were using, whatever the technology was back then. And, they got annihilated. We have a choice, right? We get a choice these days. We get a choice. Choose wisely. Miss AKA lady, what's good? Good to see you. Someone else who was looking out for Uncle Saint. Thanks for looking out and checking up on me. I appreciate that, love. You know what I mean? How'd you guys fare over there where y'all at? Just a lot of wind damage, I would imagine. Some water, some flooding and stuff like that. But it's good to see you. I'm glad you're good. But people, when these storms come, especially hurricanes, get out the way. Get out the way. Simple as that. Just go. You see it coming. You see it coming. It's like if someone told me, hey, man, we see a truck full of armed banditos, bad guys coming to get you. Word? Where are they? They are 2 weeks away. God, I'm out of here. Right? I don't want to be here when these guys get here with their guns and their tanks and their artillery and whatever they got. I'm out. Might leave a couple booby traps. Might leave some claymores behind. When they open the door, they might get a little surprise, but I'm not going to be here. But that's the thing, y'all. Like, we have this technology. We need to heed. And what's the point of having all this technology if we're not even going to give it any credence? You know what I mean? Here it is. This storm is coming. And those people down, Sarasota and Point South, they're all saying the same thing. Well, the storm's supposed to hit Tampa. It's a storm. It does what it wants to do. It's going to move the way it moves. You dig? You got to make a decision. Do what's best for you and your family. There's no need to stay. Well, I want to stay and make sure my house is okay. Your house is going to get blown away, all right? And if you're in it, you're going to get blown away with it. And if it doesn't get blown away, fine. When you come back, it'll be there. But there's absolutely no reason to sit in the house, risking your life, risking the lives of your family. Why? Now, there are reasons, like there are medical reasons you couldn't get away, or financial reasons you couldn't get away, or something. You can't even say a legal reason. If you were under house arrest, the judge will let you go. Like, you get up out of there. The judge will let you go. Then they're going to make you stay and face a hurricane, especially one of the biggest hurricanes out there. Brother, and that's non-alignment hurricanes, frequency, power. I believe in the other effects like flooding. That's what kills people. The flooding, the power lines going down, and then, electrifying the water, and people, getting electrocuted, people getting cut or whatever and getting infected and can't get help soon enough or whatever. People, having cardiac issues or whatever. These are the things. It's after the storm. Is when most people lose their lives dealing with these storms. You know what I mean? Miss AKA lady, we are high up, not much damage at all. Never lost power. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's good to hear. Yeah, because where I am, I was in the mandatory evacuation zone. And yeah, they didn't have to tell me twice. I really wasn't paying. I didn't even care what they said. I know I was leaving. Surrounded by water. Like, come on, bro, I'm out of here. If that storm had hit Tampa on that track, that projected track, Tampa would be in disarray right now. You know what I mean? No, there's no way I was gonna stay. Sister Candace is in the house. What's good, love? How you feeling? Good to see you. Good to see you. I was ninja watching on that stream with Tate and Myron and Fresh. It's pretty good. I ain't gonna lie, I enjoyed that. I like it when Brother Tate's talking. Man, he said some good stuff. You know what I mean? For real. He said some good things. I was happy to see that. But I was just getting in, so I really didn't have the chance to super chat or anything like that. I thought about it. By the time I was ready, they had to go. They had stuff going on. But yeah, y'all, these storms, you know, you gotta think about it, especially if you the head of the family. You gotta think about what this means. Like, is the risk worth it? You know, like Miss A.K. Ailey was saying, like, yeah, we're on the high ground. Okay, take that in consideration. You're on the high ground. Cool. You don't have to worry about any flooding. Cool. You know what I mean? Maybe you're like, I'm kind of isolated, so we got generators. We got plenty of fuel. We got, you know, plenty of food, plenty of water, right? Plenty of ammo. It's like, we're good. If that's the case, okay, fine. You want to ride it out? You don't think it's going to be that bad? You're inland. You're away from water. You're on high ground. Okay, I can see that. That's a solid decision. I ain't mad. But if none of that's the case, if you're right next to the water, you're in the lowlands, you got water all around you, you know what I mean? What are you thinking? All that rain that was dumped on, 2-3 months worth of rain in a matter of hours, that surge. There were even rumors that there were sharks swimming around in the streets. Apparently that was not true. They were saying maybe it was some sort of, I don't know, maybe dolphins or something like that. I didn't really look into it too much. I just saw reports, and I think it was like just people on TikTok and stuff like that. Like, look, there's a shark. But I tell you what, the sharks may not have been there, but the alligators certainly were. The snakes certainly were, right? There's poisonous critters out here. There are alligators out here with sharp teeth. They'll love to drag you under, give you that spin underneath, get them a little something to eat. So we got to make better. We got to make better choices. Life and Cash is in the house. What's good, bro? Good to see you. Shout out to UBL. Shout out to you, brother. Subscribe to your channel. I really appreciate your fresh and objective perspectives as well as a variety of all topics. That's what we do over here, brother. AI, manosphere, etc. Thanks, bro. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Now we're talking about this. Get out the way. Utilize technology. That's the whole point. Smart people made this stuff for a reason, man. Let's use it. Let's use it. Let's use our technology, bro. Because we jumped in the car and we left. Could you imagine, like, the storm's coming, it's going to be here in a couple of days. Let's get a horse and buggy and let's go to Atlanta in a horse and buggy. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to use technology, right? It's the same technology that shows this storm coming, right? I'm use that technology as well as the technology to jump in the car and get the hell out of Dodge. That's crazy. Brother Doug, I'm sold on Tate. I like that guy. Yeah, I like Brother Tate. I'm looking at what he's doing. I'm going to do a show coming up. You know what I mean? Like, I try to keep it 100. I like Tate. Like I said, I met the dude. I think he's a cool cat. I really do. You know what I mean? But, very charismatic. You know what I mean? Man, he knows how to tell his stories. And he's not lying. He's telling great stories. I believe everything he's saying. He's doing his thing. But I'm definitely going to do a show and, kind of address some of the things that people are out there talking about. It is what it is. I want to address it. So I'm going to do it. Look for that next week. Because a lot of people be hitting me hard, like, man, you just a fanboy. I'm like, well, that's my dude. You know what I mean? I like the guy. But I can't ignore I'm not going to ignore anything. I'm going to bring up the stuff that's been brought up to me. And we're going to do what we always do, y'all. Y'all know what it is. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. I'm gonna show what I gotta show. And we're gonna put it through the old
think tank. Arch. Nothing gets past the old think tank. Nothing.
We're gonna put it through the old think tank. I'm definitely a fan of Andrew Tate. That's not gonna change. You know what I mean? But there's some things we need to put through the old think tank. Life of Cash, by the way. I also live in Tampa. Oh, that's what's up, man. Grew up in Miami. Survived Hurricane Andrew. I got the first flight out when it seemed like Ian might make a direct hit. Hey, that's what's up, bro. I ain't mad at you at all. I wish more people would do that. Right? And Life of Cash can tell you down in Miami was no joke. Like I said, Miami was in shambles. South Beach was messed up and all that surrounding areas, Kendall and all that, Doral was kind of messed up. But when I got to Homestead, here's the thing with that. When we got to Homestead, it was, we looked around, it's like, bro, we thought we went into a third world country, a situation. We didn't bring our weapons. Our unit told us not to bring our weapons. We needed them. When we got down there, we needed them. It was rounds being fired. It was pop, shots were being fired all over the place. When the sun went down, that's all you heard, man. Like, why didn't we bring our weapons? Like, what? Somebody made a bad decision. I mean, it was so bad that the law enforcement types and all of law enforcement was working together, from the local guys all the way up to the feds. Right, you had ATF guys down there, FBI guys down there. You had state law enforcement people down there, and of course the locals, right, sheriffs and PDs and all that. They came up to us. We were working this small heliport. It's a little transition area right adjacent to a basically a refugee camp that the Marine Corps had built. And I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. It was like being in Central America. I'm not gonna lie. It was some shit going on inside that camp. So the law enforcement guys came up to our position. It was like, what type of ammo do you guys need? What weapons did you bring? Like, we didn't bring nothing. And they were like, yo, get your hands on some weapons and we'll get you some ammo. It was that bad. And they gave us a medal for it. A couple medals if memory serves. But yeah, man, I'm sure Life of Cat brother could tell you about that. Life of Cash could tell you all about that. Miami was crazy after Andrew. Brother Hayoka, and let's look up greenhouse gases and ice cores and bubbles within the ice. Gives you readings that go back tens of centuries, being stable and a rise in the 19th century. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of science on it out there, y'all. There's definitely a lot of science when you come to that. Like, scientists generally aren't like the hardcore scientists. They're not political, man. They're researching stuff. That's how they get their jollies, man. They're scientists and they're being scientists. They put the stuff out, right? And a lot of this information comes from them. When they're looking for other things. Some of these scientists don't even care about climate change. They're researching something else, and they just come across this data, and they just send it up the chain. So there's a political argument for it, but science says one thing, politics says another. And again, when we get into politics, it's all about the money and all that kind of stuff. Once money gets involved, then you don't know what the hell you're dealing with. So I tend to listen to scientists, and then I make up my mind from there. But it is what it is. Miss AK, hey lady, oh yeah, I'm a Floridian. If you too close to the water and you stay, you're stuck. They aren't risking their lives to come get you until the water calms. Don't risk it. They were telling people that we're not coming back. This is it. Last chance right here. You're going to stay. You're going to go. Oh, we're going to stay. All right. Don't call us. We ain't coming. I think that's real. That's real. Why should somebody risk their life because you made a poor decision? The storm is coming. In a lot of cases, like the storm is an hour away. You going to stay or you going to go with us? I think I'm going to stay. All right. Bye. They'll come back. Hopefully you're there. Maybe you'll be there in there floating inside the house because you couldn't get out. And the water rose. And I mean, there are pictures of homes down there. They're completely underwater. That I've never seen before. Choose to stay, it's on you. You choose to stay, it's on you, Brother Doug. Oh, man, it's highly possible Hurricane Isabel 2003 in VA. There were dolphins swimming in the streets. Wow, I didn't know that. I mean, I can see it. It spills over. They're just out swimming. They don't know that the hurricane pushed the water into the streets. They don't know. You know what I mean? And then I'll let Brother Ines and Brother Hayoka go back and forth. I'll read that later, as we all should. I love these back and forths, by the way, y'all. I love it when we come together, we talk. We're all putting it through the think tank. We're trying to, just talk it out, hash it out. I think that's good, man. So, yeah, thank y'all for, making this fun, even for me. Life of Cash, Hurricane Andrew. I was in Northwest Miami. My family drove down to Southwest Miami to donate clothes and goods. Southwest Miami was flat as a pancake. Yes, it was, for miles down I-95 where houses used to be. He is not lying. We drove past all that. They flew us in from Fort Bragg in the back of a Chinook. So our TAC team, we had two types of missions. One mission we actually jumped in. We parachuted in to do our missions, whatever that was. And then we had another mission where we would use our vehicle and we just kind of ride in. So this was a hybrid mission. We loaded up the Humvee into the back of a CH-47, a Chinook, and they flew us down from Fort Bragg to Miami Airport. And on that flight, we had an emergency, had to land the helicopter in some playground somewhere in, I don't even know where we were, man. It might have been South Carolina, maybe Georgia. I don't know where we were, but we had to land. Crew chief jumped out, did something to the aircraft, jumped back on, gave the thumbs up, and off we went again. So the kids that were out there playing kind of looked up and see this big helicopter landing. This big old helicopter lands. Little soldier guy jumps out, does something, jumps back in, and off we go. And we flew into Miami International, offloaded our Hummer. We had to make some mods to the Hummer. We had to take some stuff off just to get it to fit in there. So we squared away our Hummer, got our gear ready, and waited for orders. Like everything else in the Army, hurry up and wait. But when we finally got our orders, we went south, man, I'm telling you, it was bad. And everybody was involved in that. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard. All of us were down there. That was a bad one right there. I never seen anything like it. Never seen anything like it. But yeah, Life of Cash is right. It was flat as a pancake. That storm did a number on South on the Dade. You know what I mean? So Brother Doug, no science is highly political now, not in the past. Today it is. Too much funding on the line. Yeah, there's a lot of funding on both sides. Whenever the money gets involved, things are gonna get tainted. Things are gonna get tainted. You know what I mean? Can you do the test again and come up with this result so we can get another $10 billion? I know that goes on, bro, and it's a shame. Dusto, I was in Virginia for Isabel and in Houston for Ike. Man, I've never been in a hurricane. I always get out the way. That's just me. The only way I would ride out a hurricane is if I were in the military and I were ordered to do so, or there was something going on with my family which forced me to stay in that spot. It's the only way. Otherwise, I'm getting out the way, bro. What's the point? I mean, seriously, why? Why? Like, why? You can just go away and then come back when it's over and you can help clean up. There's going to be tons of help needed to clean up. Tons and tons of help. They're going to be cleaning up down there for at least a year or two, trying to put that place back together. You know what I mean? Just the debris alone, man, why would you want to stay for that? I just don't understand. Ms. AK, hey, lady, how long have you been in Florida? Also, since you have lived in different areas, what natural event shakes you the most? Tornadoes, earthquakes. Earthquakes are the worst. Earthquakes are the absolute worst. I've been in Florida for 2 years. Earthquakes are the absolute worst. The ground shakes. Where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? I've been in some small to mid-grade earthquakes. It's the scariest thing ever. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's another reason I'm not in California. They know the big one's coming. Nah, man. Earthquakes are the absolute worst. You get no warning. You virtually get no warning. I remember one, and I worked in a tower. I was an air traffic controller. I worked in a tower. I mean, one night I was in a tower. We got a couple tremors. Like, wait, is this thing moving? And then all of us, then we got another tremor, and equipment was starting to fall. I'm like, all right, one more, I'm out of here. And there's a lot of stuff you got to do. You just can't leave. There are a lot of people you got to notify. And I'm like, okay, by the time I finish all these notifications, I'm out. And we didn't get another one. Earthquakes by far. Y'all tell me what y'all think is what y'all crazy. I grew up in the Midwest. I'm used to tornadoes. It is what it is. Just get into a basement, good. I'm used to a tornado. You know what I mean? I don't stay for hurricanes. That's why we're talking about it right now. Earthquakes, sinkholes, wildfires are bad. All bad. Wildfires it's like a living thing. A living thing. I've sat there and I've watched wildfires just cover acres and acres and acres of land. Out in LA, they have wildfires in the Valencia area. I remember sitting there in the tower just watching the fire creep over the hill, start coming down towards Van Nuys, start coming into the San Fernando Valley, and the firefighters are just out there fighting like crazy. Wildfires, that's another thing. Get away from those if you can. They move fast. Those fires will jump ahead of you. You think you're going the right direction, the correct direction. That fire will jump in front of you, and now you're boxed in. Done. Don't play with wildfires. Earthquakes, that's my personal, you know what I mean? That's it. Like I am afraid of earthquakes. The ground shakes. Like it shakes. Sometimes they move like this, like a wave, and you can see it moving. Sometimes it's just like it just kind of pops up like that. It's crazy. Earthquakes ain't no joke. But the wildfires and sinkholes, like you're out there and the ground just sinks. There was a guy driving down the street and all of a sudden the ground below him just gave the street, just collapsed. It fell like a story. Imagine being on the second floor, now you're on the first floor, but you're in your car. It's like that, just boom. You got to go get them out of there. A lot of times the car is kind of angled one way or the other, it's kind of sideways. Got to get them out of there. All that in California, all that West Coast stuff, man. Y'all can have that. That's why I tell people, like, LA is a great place to visit. Not now. Don't go to LA now. It is way too dangerous now. But once they figure out, once they figure this out, once they decide to start enforcing law and order out there again, then go back, but only go for weekend. Like, it's a great place to visit. You don't want to live there. Kind of went, that was a long answer, Miss AKA lady. But yeah, earthquakes. I don't mess with earthquakes at all. No warning whatsoever. Well, like I said, I think it was 40 seconds to like a minute and a quarter, something like that. You know what I mean? That's all, 60, 70 seconds, something like that. That's all the warning they're going to give you. Brother Hayoka could probably correct me on that and tell me, because there's science on it. They have scientific devices that warn you for impending earthquakes, but it's so fast. I don't even want to know. And again, that's part of my routine. I'm not going to get into it because I talk about it on stage. It's like one of my funniest bits. You know what I mean? So when we finally do, we're going to do a meetup. I'm going to do a show. I'm going to do a comedy show. I'm going to set up a show in different cities, and you guys will be able to hear that bit and you'll get a kick out of it. But yeah, earthquakes scare me. Brother, and there's only crazy white dudes chase tornadoes. My brother Rook, he chases tornadoes. And Rook's the one who's done, if you haven't seen him, watch him. We did a show on the Warrior Women of History, did a show on the Nubians. And I did a show on him, introducing him. Rook's done 3 shows. He's going to do another one pretty quick. He is doing a lot of work now. He's a professor, teacher. And I think he has to go to Canada and he's going to come back and he's got a lot of stuff to do. But we're going to get a show in hopefully by the end of the year. But Rook is a legit storm chaser. He chases tornadoes, man. He loves it. He's been doing it for ages. Next year, I'm going to go out with him. I'll chase a tornado, but I'm not going to hang out for a Cat 5 hurricane. And Rook was hitting me up like he was telling me to go. I'm like, nah, man, we're leaving. He was like, good, because he was like, that's nothing to play with. So a guy who chases tornadoes was telling me to get out of the way of this hurricane. And at the time, the hurricane was a Cat 3. Right? I was already gone by the time it hit Cat 4 status. But a man who chases tornadoes told me to get out of the way of the hurricane, just so you know, just to give you a little bit of perspective. You know what I mean? Sister Candace like, yeah, Fort Myers Beach got destroyed. It absolutely did. It's going to take them years to build that back. And I want to say that the hurricane also hit there in 2017, if I'm not mistaken. If someone knows, better, correct me if I'm wrong out there. But my cousin was telling me like the same thing happened in 2017. It was supposed to hit Tampa and it made that turn and it went in right there. And like I said, the thing we're going to be hearing about is the insurance. That is going to be a problem moving forward. The damage caused is going to be a lot. It'll be a lot of money. There's going to be insurance companies going under, people not getting paid after paying all this bread for premiums and stuff like that. The state we don't know if the state's going to step in. This is definitely going to be a challenge for Governor DeSantis. He did good on the first part. He really did. Curious to see how he handles this part because all of the governors have had to deal with this. This insurance thing is not new. So, yeah, he's definitely going to be between a rock and a hard place. And this is coming, during an election cycle. So we're going to see what happens. I'm curious to see how this plays out. Candace M., I prefer living up north. I enjoy seeing the 4 seasons, and the snow never killed anybody. Well, depends on where you were looking at the snow, because there are avalanches that pop off in certain places in the mountains. People go up there, you never see them again. And I got caught in a blizzard in 1978, one of the worst blizzards that ever hit Cincinnati. People died in that. They didn't die outside in the snow. Power went out and they died inside. They froze to death. A lot of people just didn't have wood. A lot of people didn't have fireplaces. People were like turning on their cars and getting carbon monoxide poisoning and all that, which was, they said it was because of the storm. So, they blamed the storm for people turning on their cars and breathing in the smoke and dying. People opening up their ovens and trying to warm the house or whatever, the room, and again, dying from the smoke, gas. So yeah, snow could kill you too, love. It can definitely take you out, kill you dead as disco. Brother Doug, Isabel, because I live near the bay, I evacuated to Richmond, which is 150 miles inland, and Isabel hit South Carolina to Maryland. I didn't escape anything. Yeah, there were people in Tampa who went to Fort Myers because everyone believed the storm was coming and was going to be a direct hit to Tampa. So they went south, and then others went to Orlando. So others went east. They went south, and then they went east, and they got tore up. Like if a hurricane is coming in Florida, leave the state. Leave the state. That hurricane is not going to hit Atlanta. Like, as a Cat 5, it's too far inland. Leave the state. There were people like, I'm going to go down to Miami. The thing could have turned and hit Miami. Leave the state. Did y'all see the size of that thing? I mean, it covered the entire state as it moved through and then became a hurricane again once it hit the water. Right? It weakened to a tropical storm. By the time it hit Orlando, it was a tropical storm, and it got back into the water, into the Atlantic, and it picked up momentum and then became a Cat 1 hurricane. Leave the states. Don't do like Brother Doug did. Go far away. It is what it is. At least he was trying to make moves. Miss AKA lady. So basically anything that goes down in California. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much anything that goes down in California. I'm like, I'm cool. Every year, massive wildfires. It's going on right now. Every year. It seems to get worse. It is what it is. It costs them billions of dollars a year just to put the fires out. Every year, earthquakes. Every year, sinkholes. And I ain't talking about the landslides. I ain't even talk about that. Right? The Hollywood Hills, people buy these multi-million-dollar mansions in the Hollywood Hills, Laguna Hills and stuff like that. Malibu, those things slide down the hill all the time. All the time. I used to live on Laurel Canyon in Ventura, in Studio City. Right? Pretty much right on the corner. I'm like, just like, I don't know, just a little bit back from that intersection, right? So Laurel Canyon kind of takes you over into West Hollywood. It's like this. You go up this canyon road. It's the main street. Goes over the hills and it comes back down, and then it stops at Sunset Boulevard and it becomes a different street. On the other side of Sunset, it becomes Crescent Heights. Right. So there you go. That's your LA lessons for the day. But in those hills, the houses slide down the hill all the time. All the time. Look it up. You can go online and look it up. Houses just sliding down the hill. These houses are like tens of millions of dollars. Want to slide down the hill, then 2-3 years later, someone else will build another house there. It takes about 5-6 years, and that one to slide down the hill. They own something out there. I don't know what. There are houses out there on a cliff that have stilts. So this is the foundation of your house, and they'll have like stilts to come out from the ground like that, and it's holding up your house. Like these stilts. This is how they living out there. That's the hills. I'm like, man, these people done lost their mind. They crazy. So yeah, man, like if I go to Cali, if I go to LA, man, I go out there, have a little fun, and I leave. And I haven't been out in LA to 2 years I've left. I'm not, and I don't plan on going back going out there anytime soon. Go back, watch the videos. People are getting robbed for their watches, any type of jewelry. People being followed home from the malls and shopping and all that kind of stuff. There are home invasions. Dude, there was a home invasion. I didn't want to say it was 2 weeks ago. I meant to do a show on it, but this storm hit and it kind of messed up my schedule. In Chatsworth, right, which isn't like a great area, but it's a good area. It's cool. Somebody smashed the patio door, goes inside, and the owner was home. Luckily, the owner had a shotgun and, apparently, scared off the intruder. And it's California. And I'm thinking, had the owner shot the intruder, I think the owner might have got arrested. That's how crazy it is out there. You might go to jail for defending your own home and your family. You might. It's insane out there. Like, don't go. Don't go right now. It's crazy. Life of Cash, warning time, hurricane, days, earthquake, seconds. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Days. I mean, a hurricane, bro, they're looking at hurricanes form off the coast of South Africa, man. They start tracking them things. Like they just look at look out. It's coming. You got all kind of times to get out the way, man. But earthquake, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Brother Doug, like I was lucky. Whitecaps made it all the way to my back door and up 3 steps. No major damage. But I had to go without electricity for 2 weeks. That sucks. Going without electricity sucks. You know what I mean? How you gonna cook anything? Right? How you gonna warm or cool your home? Like now you're going back in time. No AC. Ooh, that's a problem. That's a problem. You know what I mean? I tell folks all the time, and Jay Swan says this all the time. You want to make sure you're ready to go. You got a bug out bag. You want to make sure you have, ample supply of food that you can eat. It doesn't have to be cooled or anything like that or warmed up, like meals ready to eat, right? MREs are cool. I ate MREs for 4 years. I ain't gonna lie. Some of them I really do like. MREs are cool. Like you should go out and get you some. They come in those bags, they're ready to go. If something goes down, you can eat. I have a part of my bug out kit. I have a bag. And you know what? I'll do a show on that. I'll actually do it. I'm gonna talk to Jay Swans. We'll do a show on that. I'll pull up my bug out bag and open it up. We have like bagged water. There's water that's like inside of bags. There's food in there. There's all kind of medical equipment, stuff like that, iodine tablets, everything you would need to be on your own if you had to move out. You know what I mean? Let's just say you had to walk out. You know what I mean? Everything you would need for that. We'll do an episode on that. Let me hit Jay Swans up. I might be able to get that done this weekend. Everyone should have that. You should have a first aid kit. You should have a bug out bag. You should have a bug out plan. So all this stuff should be done. So like any given time right now, if something were to go down, I could be in my car and on the road within 15 minutes. Everything's right here. Everything's ready to go. I just grab it and go. Grab my daughter, grab my stuff. We're out. And people are like, man, what's wrong with you? You ain't in the military no more. You're overthinking it. You're overthinking it. Like, am I? You know what I mean? Speed's the key. Whenever something goes wrong, speed is the key. If you want to get out of there, you need to get out of there. The sooner you can get your gear and go, the better off you will be. The longer it takes you to get your gear and go, the tougher your life may get. Right? In a very, very, very quick, short time span. So keep that in mind, y'all. Be thinking about that. But yeah, bro, I'm just looking at what's going on with the storms, everything that's going on down there, like all that water, man. Anybody have any the latest numbers on the death count, death toll? Because like I said, I was like 12. I'm gonna say it was between 10 and 15 last time I checked, and only 5 or 6 were confirmed. But people are saying that they're expecting the death toll to be in the hundreds. You know what I mean? So we'll see, brother Hayoka. Yeah, the big one will come. But did you hear about the possible mega flooding of the Central Valley afterwards? It happened 150 years ago from Stockton to Sacramento. No, I did not. I know that California now, in particular LA, Santa Monica, Venice, right? All the coastal towns, Malibu, they are really, really concerned with tsunamis. Really, really concerned with when that thing happened in Japan and Fukushima, whichever that nuclear power plant, when that tsunami hit, LA really became concerned. I don't think about it anymore because I'm not out there. But, they're worried about the plates underwater. Like it'd be a big shift, big earthquake underwater, out to sea, and it will cause a huge tsunami. And like, especially Santa Monica, Venice, and Malibu are really worried about that. We'll see. Brother Ness, for some reason, I love earthquakes. I feel like I'm shaking the cradle. Hey, bro, nah, not this dude, not at all, bro. I'd rather be in a firefight. I'd rather be taking rounds, artillery rounds. I'd rather have rounds going off impacting around me than deal with an earthquake, man, for real. I ain't gonna lie to you, man, because I did not like that at all. at all. Miss AKA Lady, if I'm not mistaken, Rook showed us some of his tornado pictures in one of your videos. Yes, he did. He was showing, and they're beautiful. They're beautiful. Like, tornadoes are lethal, but they're beautiful. Right? He was just showing how they kind of go up into the sky. Oh, man, it was great. That was in, I think that was the very first one we did. The very first video I did with Rook, I think it's titled the most experienced human I know, or something like that. The most experienced human I know, or the most experienced person I know. Maybe it was introducing Rook or something like that. Go back and watch that. It's the first video we did, and yeah, that was. Rook still does it. I'm going this year when tornado season rolls around this coming year. I'm gonna be there. I already told him, save me a seat. And if anybody wants to join us, let me know as ASAP, because his tours are really popular and they fill up quick because you're in the vehicle with him. It's not like, oh, I'm on a Rook tour and they put you with some dude named Bobby. Nah, you're out with Rook. And that's it. That's it. There's no one else. It's just you and that group in that vehicle. And I'm gonna be on that one next year. Definitely gonna work my schedule around that. But that was a good episode. You know what I mean? Life of Cash is saying stats show most injuries occur after the storm, hurricane, or winter storm. Yep. Absolutely. Miss AKA Lady, Spike Lee's film, When the Levees Broke, changed my mind forever on home insurance. Hey, man, that's a big scam, man. Like, insurance, even your auto insurance. Think about that. All the money you spent on your auto insurance, how many times have you really crashed and needed it, like, for real? Like, and if you drive like that, if you reckless and you crash all the time, they drop you. So you take all that bread. My premiums never went down. I mean, they will go down as I age, but if something happens, if someone else hits me, boom, premiums go up. Especially down here in South Florida. You know, these people can't drive. They can't drive down here. You know what I mean? So let me show all these chats. You know what? Since we're here, I'm going to drop the link if anybody wants to jump in. There it is. Let's talk about why you should run from hurricanes. I just dropped the link right there. I tell you what, though, man, it didn't take me but a moment to decide I was going to get my daughter out of harm's way. There's no way I was going to sit through this with my child. No way. No way. Doesn't make any sense. If I were married, that's it. We're going. If my wife was like, no, I don't want to stay. All right, then, bye, baby. I'm taking the kids. See you. You got a problem with it? See you in court on the other side of the storm. But I'm taking the kids. You know what I mean? I'm taking them. You can't beat nobody. Call the police. Tell them to meet me in Atlanta. I'm out of here. I'm taking the kids. I'm not going to leave my children behind to face some hurricane. But let's face it, I don't know. I mean, I've never been married. If that's what you got to deal with as a husband, when you can't even make a decision to keep your family safe, you got to fight, then nah, it ain't worth being married. Man, look, don't even do it. Don't even do it. You know what I mean? But Sister Carol, we got Brother Jason's in the house. What's good, bro? I'm back, man. Had to run away, man. This storm was coming. I had to run away. I'm back now. You know, Sister Candace, hit the like button on your way in. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. You know what I mean? I see a lot of interacting in the chat. I love that. Candace and my husband said the MREs are horrible. Hey, man, they are, but you get used to it. It's like cognac and whiskey is horrible. It's an acquired taste. The spaghetti and meatballs back in the day. Now, mind you, I was doing all my MRE eating back in the 90s, right? So the spaghetti and meatballs was pretty good. The chicken stew, I loved it. What else? There was another one in there. There was something with ham that I would eat that was okay. And let me see. I can't remember all of it, but the chicken stew, man, I would fight for those. I would go through boxes of MREs just to find that one. Chicken stew. Yeah, and then they also give you some spices. Sometimes you can bring your own spices and make that, you know what I mean, you can make it good. There was some tuna Was there like a tuna casserole? I think it was a tuna casserole in there. You get used to it. It's an acquired taste. It's better than eating bugs, right? And sometimes when you're on no missions, you got to get your protein from somewhere. It's better than catching snakes and cutting their heads off and chasing down rabbits and chickens and stuff. I would rather get an MRE. Ms. AK, I've never heard of a bug out bag. Well. Yeah, sometimes you got to bug out. You know what I mean? We're going to do a show on that. Definitely should have that and be ready to go. And the way we do it, we carry what we take what we can carry. Even though we're in the vehicle, the whole premise is if something goes wrong with the vehicle, you have to walk out. You know what I mean? So you don't want to have all this, airplane luggage type stuff and trying to roll your luggage through the woods or up the street. Nah, what you could put on your back, it's what you got to carry. That's what you want to take. You know what I mean? That's definitely what you got to take. Sister Candace like Death Tolls at 21. Thanks for that. Yeah, that's going to continue to climb. It's going to take them a while to find everybody. It's going to be people floating around in their homes. Well, the water's receded, so they're going to be, maybe they came out of the, floated out of the home. It's a mess. It's always going to be a mess. Wonderful 34's in the house. What's good, bro? Yes, I'm back. Yeah, bro. We're talking about I had to leave. I'm back now. Next time I'll take my kit. I'll take my mobile kit with me. And that way I'll be able to broadcast wherever I am. Take the computer, take the kit, take the camera. Actually, there's a camera on my computer, so I could maybe leave this camera behind, but it is what it is. Yeah, brother, that was the one, the Fukushima reactor in Japan. Yeah, that was scary. That was scary. And, it is what it is. Brother Vikings in the house. What's good, bro? Good to see you. And for my Fresh and Fit people, I'm not sure when Myron and Fresh are coming back. When they travel, it's open. They can do whatever they want to do. They have some opportunities to meet up with some content creators, and they're doing good things over there. Fresh's birthday is Sunday. So I don't know if they're going to be back to between now and then. I don't know. I haven't sent Fresh a text or anything. I guess I could. I just figured they will say when they're coming back on one of their broadcasts. So I don't know. If anybody knows, let me know. If Fresh is going to be back Sunday for his birthday, I'll definitely shoot down there. I know. Our Dallas folks are down there. Fresh and Fit Dallas. I know there's some folks that flew in there. Plus, with the storm and everything, people's travel plans might have been messed up. So we'll see. We'll see what's happening. We'll be on standby. And they're closing in on 1 million subscribers. So either way, it might just want to wait till the 1 million subscriber party. We'll see. If anybody knows, let me know. But again, I haven't hit Fresh up. I didn't want to bug them. The time difference is major over there. I didn't want to bug them. Miss AK, hey lady, I grew up here. I don't leave unless it's a Cat 5 or a 6. They don't even have Cat 6, lady. My love. It's 5. It's like 157 and up, I think, or 158 and up. That's it. It's Cat 5. They might have to come up with a 6 because, these storms are getting more and more powerful. She said, however, I'm from North Florida. It's not as much water as the peninsula. However, when famous weathermen come to town, it's time to gas up. Yes. And that's another thing. When these storms are coming, there's a run on water. There's a run on gas, right? There's a run on all the canned goods, all that kind of stuff. So you definitely want to be prepared. Again, you want to do that. You want to go get all your stuff together now when there's no pressure to do so. We're definitely going to have that show. I'm going to talk to Jay Swans and see if I can get him in, and get him on that show. What's good, Rosalind? How you doing, love? Good to see you. Sister Rosalind in the house. Question, the movie posters behind you, were you in those films? I was not in these films, no. I've met a bunch of people who were. I'm not an actor. Remember that. Like, I've done some stuff, but non-union, just helping out friends. I don't like acting. I ain't gonna lie to you. But the movie behind me, Snatch, Guy Ritchie film, one of my top 5 favorites. And then the one, Man on Fire, that's Denzel Washington, another great movie. Again, those two are both in my top 5. What I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna start rotating posters of just my favorite films and stuff like that, just stuff that I like. I'm gonna start rotating them out. But if you haven't seen Snatch, go see it. I'm a big fan of Guy Ritchie. I love that genre that he kind of mastered. That his gangster genre was just best. There's movies with all villains, no good guys. You just got to pick your favorite villain. You know what I mean? So, but Snatch is my favorite one. The movie starts off with one of the characters saying, "What do I know about diamonds?" It's my favorite. That dialogue in that movie is just great. So no, I wasn't in any one of those movies. The only time I agreed to even be in a movie is if it's someone I know. I do it as a favor. Acting's hard, y'all. Being somebody else is hard. Brother Donnie, what's good? Yes, sir. I'm back, man. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it, fam. I am back. Storm's over. I'm back. Like I said, yeah, happy to be back. I wanted to jump on right away so y'all can see I'm good. Everything's good here. No drama where I'm staying. We were in the mandatory evacuation zone, but there was no problems. My car's fine. Everything's fine. So it's cool. Fresh and Fit fam, we up for show. For sure. Denzel is a legend. I was lucky enough to meet him on a couple occasions. Solid brother. I had nothing bad to say about Denzel Washington, man. He's one of the coolest cats alive. That's definitely somebody you want to be like when you grow up. You know what I mean, Brother Jason? Heard they were paying $3,000 a week to come down and help clean up. I wouldn't doubt it, bro. When we were driving up I-75 to Atlanta, the road was packed full of, those guys who work the poles, like the electrician guys. They had the baskets on the back of their vehicles. They had all kind of dump trucks coming south. This was on Tuesday. I mean, we saw at least 600 utility vehicles going south from all over the place. And then coming down this morning, there were crews coming in from Mississippi. There were crews coming in from Michigan. There were crews coming in from Wisconsin, all driving down these trucks, these crews. Yeah, you best believe they're getting paid something. So absolutely. And all that's federal money. That's all under FEMA and all that kind of stuff. So I would imagine if you could swing a hammer, and if you were to go down to the impact zone, you get paid a lot of money just to do that. They're gonna need men. Let's face it. They're gonna need people. And this is working with your hands and doing stuff. So generally speaking, they're gonna need men. If you're a female, you're good with your hands, and maybe you're a contractor or you know how to do that kind of stuff. It's gonna be some money to be made down there. Bucket trucks. Thanks, brother. Hey, okay, yeah, there are tons and tons of bucket trucks. Like I said, at least going up, I'm not exaggerating, at least 600. We stopped at a Waffle House on the way up, and we were talking to some of the guys who were on their way down, and they're like, yeah. They're like real excited. They're going down there. They knew it was going to be a big one. None of us knew it was going to hit like it hit. Like none of us knew it was going to be a Cat 5 pretty much. You know what I mean? But these men were going down there and they were eager to get to work and get this stuff done. So shout out to them. That's for them. Those brothers are out there getting it. Ain't no money like that FEMA money, brother. They paying out everyone. They cut the checks and they ask questions later. Don't try to rip them off because they will come see you. Right? Just ask anybody who took them PPP loans that weren't supposed to. You know what I mean? So, brother Ness, I love the Book of Eli. Yes, that was a great movie. Yes, absolutely. The way that the Book of Eli was one of the best told stories. Just think about it. Hollywood was supposed to be about telling stories at the end of the day. The Book of Eli was one of the best told stories I've seen in a very, very long time. And to have someone like, Denzel Washington play the lead role. I mean, he nailed it. And that twist, and I don't want to spoil the movie, but that twist was just amazing. That is, you know what I mean? And that could have been with any other religious text. Can you imagine that? Same thing if it were the Quran or the Torah or whatever. Great story, great book. And yeah, I don't want to speak on it because there might be some people out there who haven't seen it. Go see it. Man on Fire is a great movie too, though. Man on Fire is like Denzel only makes you know what I mean? He only makes great movies, man. I can't think of any bad. You got to go back to the 80s, really, early 90s to find maybe a bad Denzel Washington movie. You know what I mean? And even that is bad compared to the rest of his work. You know what I mean? But yeah, that Book of Eli, bro, I'm with you 100%. One of my favorite Another one for my top 5 would be The 13th Warrior. I don't know if anybody saw that, but that's Antonio Banderas. Really good story. Really good stories about Vikings, mystical stuff. You know what I mean? Really good story. Brother Jose, what's good, bro? And Brother Roman, I see y'all up in here. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yes, I am safe. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. And again, shout out to everyone who was like looking in on Uncle Saint, hitting me up, making sure I'm good, making sure my family's good. I truly appreciate that. For real, for real. Thank y'all so much, man. I rock with y'all. I'm still here. You know what I mean? It's going to take more than this, storm to knock me out. I mean, because I'm going to get out the way. I'm not going to sit there and fight a hurricane. I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. I'm going to run. You know what I mean? At Guys in the house was good. Donnie Brasco was cool. Yeah. I mean, Donnie Brasco was cool. My top 15, top 20, definitely make my top 20. You know what I mean? Donnie Brasco was cool, but I'll probably get into some Godfather stuff, you know what I mean, before I had Donnie Brasco. But Donnie Brasco was great. You know what I mean? When you get into those gangster type movies, man, there's some, it's so many different genres. And y'all know I love movies, man. I'm going to have to start doing, in fact, I'm going to do a couple shows where I'm going to, kind of talk about my favorite movies and why I get some more of my Hollywood people involved. And we're going to talk about that. I'm looking forward to that. Miss AKA lady, they're getting that storm duty pay. I have family at the power company and they get more than double the pay plus travel expenses paid. A lot of work, but it's a good opportunity. Yeah, it sounds like that one. The Bone Collector. The Bone Collector was good, but I wasn't really crazy about that one. But it was good, though. Again, Denzel can make it. You give him a script, man, he's going to make it work. You know what I mean? Hurricane, Remember the Titans, really good ones. You know what I mean? Again, I won't put them in my top 20, but you almost cannot go wrong. Glory, definitely in my top 5. I'm going to have to do that, y'all. We're going to do a show on I'll probably do like my top 5, top 10, top 15 movies of all time. I'm going to get some of my movie people on here, man. We're going to do that. That's going to be a fun show. That's going to be a fun show. Brother Jose, what's good, man? Good to see you, man. I'm so glad. So glad. That's for y'all, man. Brother Roman, Brother Jose. Yeah, Brother Jason, 13th Warrior was fire. Yes. Top 10 by far. Yeah, I mean, boy, lo there do I see my father. Yo, that right there, man, I'm telling you, like, man, look, that movie have you wanting to be a Viking. We'll go out there with your axe. For real. 13th Warrior is a great movie. Great transitions total. An amazing story. Yeah, and there's some I'm not gonna say I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it. We're gonna do that. We're gonna talk about some of these movies hopefully next week. I'm gonna hit up some of my people out there in LA. We're going to talk about some of these movies, but 13th Warrior is definitely up there. Brother Roman, yeah, Pulp Fiction. Yeah, man. Pulp Fiction was fire. Yeah. What was the other one with Mr. Black, Mr. Blonde, Mr. Gold? Was that Reservoir Dogs? You know what I mean? Pulp Fiction, but I'm a big Kill Bill fan. Big Kill Bill. Big. In fact, I love that movie so much, man. When I went to Japan, y'all remember that scene in Kill Bill when Beatrice had to fight the Killer 88s, right? And all those with the sword fights, she had to fight her way through the whole gang. I was in that restaurant, bro. I ate in that restaurant. It's a tourist trap these days. Food was still good, to be honest with you. It wasn't great by Japanese standards, but it was good. But I was so happy to sit in there, man. Oh, that was great. And that band that was playing in the movie, sometimes they show up and they play in that restaurant still. They weren't there when we were there. The Yeahs, I think that's what they call themselves. I want to say they were in Europe when I was there. But yo, Kill Bill, I'm trying to tell you, fire. That's why I had Pi May on one of my thumbnails. That's my man. You know, Sister Rob, like I remember watching Denzel and saying Elsewhere. Me too. Hospital TV show from the 80s. For you young ones, I saw it, girl. We in the same, you know what I mean? We there. I remember saying Elsewhere. He was a youngin' back then. You know what I mean? Brother Jason, not a big Denzel fan. Seems like the same character in every movie. I ain't mad at you, bro. And I can see that, but it's something about that character, right? It's something about that way that Denzel approaches his art. Another great one with Denzel and Don Cheadle. and this is no disrespect to Denzel, but I would say that Don Cheadle kind of edges him out a little bit as far as acting ability. Devil in the Blue Dress. If you haven't seen that movie, go check that movie out. See, I'm messing up the show that's coming up, but I want y'all to see that so we can talk about it. I won't, because this is going to be all kind of spoilers when we do the show. But Devil in the Blue Dress, Don Cheadle's character made me a fan of Don Cheadle forever. If y'all really want to talk about some powerful acting, Devil in the Blue Dress, y'all go check that out. You know what I mean? Stop watching new movies for years, though. Hollywood is dying. Hollywood is over. Like that whole wokeness is true. There are great storytellers out there, man, but look, Hollywood is, it's run by people who have no talent these days. Like the gatekeepers are just, they're talentless hacks. That's all it is. They put their time in. They got to a point where you have to go through them. And it's just, if you want to see good movies these days, it's foreign films. Foreign films is where it's at. There are a lot of like Chinese movies that are coming out. They're pretty good. Japanese movies that are coming out. They're good. The South Koreans are really killing it. Yeah, it's all these foreign films are coming out. Like there's South African filmmakers coming out with good stuff. Colombian filmmakers. Just check out random independent projects. That's where the movie magic is right now. There are a lot of good projects out there, but you just got to go. You got to seek them out. It's kind of like hip hop, man. To find real good hip hop is still out there. The backpack rappers never went anywhere. You know, the people with talent like Math Hoffa and all those guys are still out there. That product's there. You just got to go seek it out. You know what I mean? Brother Hayoka, since you're in the AI, look up The Demon with a Glass Hand. It's not a movie, though. All right, I'll look it up. The Demon with the Glass Hand. Okay. Is this a doc? What is this? I'm going to look it up, though. Let me write this down real quick. Hand. Done. Got it. Equilibrium was fire. I mean, there's movies out there. There are projects that kind of slip through the cracks. They get out there, and they're great. Matrix was one of those movies, right? Matrix wasn't supposed to get made. They didn't think it was going to be anything. It slipped through the cracks. Cult classic. I mean, I love The Matrix. Great movie. Just everything about The Matrix. People use The Matrix today in the Manosphere. Great movie. Now, the sequels that came behind it were trash. I ain't going to lie to you. I'm not a fan of the sequels. Not a fan whatsoever. But that first one, fire. Brother Jose, the Koreans are killing it. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Jackie Chan is the same character in his movies, but still a great actor. He is. You got to get into, there's some movies out there where Jackie Chan plays like he really acts. He's not doing the fighting and all that. He's really acting. There's some movies out there. There's a movie called Everything Everywhere All at Once, and the male lead in that I thought was Jackie Chan, but it's not. It was I was like, it's Michelle Yeoh. She stars in it, and she actually did a really, really good job in that movie. I found this movie through The Critical Drinker. Shout out to him. Go check out his page, The Critical Drinker, on YouTube. He breaks down movies like the guy knows what he's talking about. Cool cat. He actually came to Tampa over the summer for a comic convention. Got to meet the brother. Pretty cool guy. Bought some merch from him. Got to talk to him. He's a pretty cool cat. A really cool cat. Not pretty cool. It's a really cool cat. But he broke down that movie, and I watched it, and I thought it was great. They're out there. You just got to find them. You just got to find them. And it's good, man. It's good just to be, now we just talking. I like this. We just talking. I dropped the link. I was hoping maybe somebody would jump up, but I'm going to wrap it up because I got to take my daughter to her mom. Brother Aiko, it's The Outer Limits, Demon with the Glass Hand. Oh, The Outer Limits. Are we talking about the original Outer Limits, the black and white stuff, or the more modern one? Because I probably already seen it. I just didn't know the title. I get you now. The Outer Limits and the Twilight Zone. The original Twilight Zone. The black and white ones, and some of them were colorized later on. Great. Like, that was some great stuff. That was great TV. I ain't gonna lie to you. Great TV. You're like, now you see me, great movie. Yep. Say, all right, we're gonna do a movie. Hey, we're gonna do a movie one, y'all. I'm gonna set it up hopefully for Wednesday. We're gonna do a movie one. We're gonna just jump in here, get y'all favorite movies ready, and I'm just gonna talk about whatever movies y'all drop. And I'm gonna give my top 15, and then we'll, gladly, talk to whoever wants to talk. Y'all can put in y'all favorites, because I've watched a lot of films in my day. Is there anybody out there who was into Westworld? Recently there was, what was Westworld on? Was that on Amazon? So Westworld was based on a movie, and I want to say this movie was the late 70s of the same name. If you haven't seen this movie, go check it out. That's like the whole premise of Westworld came from this movie. Again, Hollywood's full of hacks. People just remake and remake and remake. What they got coming out now? Quantum Leap has been remade. They just remade all the Disney stuff. The latest being The Little Mermaid, and they were mad because Ariel was a person of color. Never mind the fact that they just hacked up the film itself. Like they did a horrible job with the film. Never mind what color the actress was. But we're not gonna get into that. But they're just hacks. They're just making up, rehashing stuff that they think, that's where they put the money. That's where they throw the money. But go back and watch. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Go back and watch the original Westworld, the movie. I want to say it was the late 70s. Westworld. Go check that out. Great, great movie. You know what I mean? Should be the old one. Okay, that's what you're talking about. Yeah, it should be the old ones. I'm going to check that out. I'm going to definitely go look. Yes, I'm going to go look that up. The Outer Limits. Now I know. Sorry, I got quiet. I had to write that down. The Outer Limits. I'm going to watch that. I've probably seen it before. Because when I was a young kid, I was a latchkey kid. I locked myself in the house and I would just watch TV. And I would watch The Outer Limits. I would watch Twilight Zone. I would watch mad documentaries. I knew more about the Vietnam War than my uncle. And he was like, he served in the Army during the Vietnam era, but he didn't go to, he didn't get deployed. But yeah, and Brother Jason was like, yeah, Quantum Leap. And they're about to remake it. Yeah, they remade it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Great story, but it's like, come up with something else. Like, these people just don't know. There's no creativity in Hollywood. People don't want to take any chances. That's the problem with Hollywood right now. They don't want to tell stories. And I'm gonna do this show. I think we're gonna call the problem with the problem with today's Hollywood. Let me write myself a note. The problem with today's Hollywood. And we're gonna talk about some great movies. And I might even call it the problem with today's Holly Weird. I might call it Holly Weird, just to, just put the shank in there. But the thing is, they don't want to take chances. They just don't want to take chances. They don't want to tell good stories, and they get mad. Prime example is Woman King. Woman King. How you gonna make a movie about the very people who enslaved my family? That the reason I'm here today is more likely because of the homie. And you're gonna make a movie about them and expect me to be happy and accept them as some sort of heroes. Like, come on, man, they were vicious people. That's Hollywood for you. They don't think. They're hacks. They don't think. They get caught up in this wokeness, and it costs them money. It's point blank period. It costs them money. And and if you want to hear my thoughts on that, go back and watch that episode I did on Woman King, which was, again, Brother Rook told us back in July, he was like, they're going to have a hell of a time spending that one. And he told us all about the homie back then. You heard it here first, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, if you want to hear my thoughts on that, go back and check that out. But it was just like the homie were like the Nazis of their day, even worse than the Nazis. Killing, just slaughtering people, man. Men, women, and children, just slaughtering them. But no, Hollywood wants us to say they're strong black women because they're dark skinned and their hair looks nice and they can fight like they're on a Marvel movie. Like, that doesn't change history. And again, even that story, they could have just made a story up and no one could have said anything. You just make up a story, no problem. But no, they don't have the talent. They don't have the talent. I make up stories all the time as a stand-up comedian. I got 3 scripts I'm sitting on right now, all made up by me, right? Just me. I got other people to work with. We make up shit all the time, but we can't get these things sold because Hollywood doesn't want to take a chance. They want to do something. They just don't have creativity. That drives me crazy. So we're going to talk about that. The problem with today's Holly Weird. That's what I'm going to call it. The problem with today's Holly Weird. Be looking for that thumbnail, y'all. So I'm going to wrap this up. Is there anything else y'all want to talk about? I'm here. I'm back. I am back. I'm going to be doing shows through the weekend, y'all. Y'all know normally I reserve the weekend for me to go out and do bad boy stuff. I'm still going to do bad boy stuff, but I'm going to be putting out content also. So, yeah, I'm going to be putting out content also. So I'm going to wrap this up. Anything anybody want to say before we wrap this up? Let me highlight everyone's comment right now. Candace M still haven't seen The Wolf of Wall Street. You should check that out. Watch that tonight. You and your husband will get a kick out of that. It's a funny movie. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yes, I think they did a good job with that one. Leonardo DiCaprio did his thing. Jonah Hill did his thing. It's definitely worth it. It's a wild one, Candace. It's a wild one. Let me know what you think of that. Let me know what you think. Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, even Miss AKA Lady saw it. Like it was just wilding. Clockwork Orange, brother Jason. Yes, Clockwork Orange. That is some deep, intriguing stuff. I haven't watched that in a long time. A long time. I might have to go back and rewatch that one. Clockwork Orange. As far as westerns, a good western, on if you guys have seen this or not, but Jeremiah Johnson, one of the best westerns I've ever seen. Yeah, Robert Redford. Y'all might want to check that out. Jeremiah Johnson tells a really good story, and it follows this man throughout his lifetime. It's a really good story. It's not like a shoot 'em up, spaghetti western, which I'm a big fan of. Good, the bad, the ugly, Hang 'em high, a few dollars more. I love all of them. You know what I mean? Big fan of Clint Eastwood, even though, and I've never met Clint Eastwood in person. I've controlled him. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Clint Eastwood is a pilot. He would fly his own helicopter. So I would, talk to him in a professional capacity over the years, but I never got a chance to actually meet him. But yeah, man, like Good, the Bad, the Ugly is probably by far my favorite spaghetti film. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and then Magnificent Seven. Oh yeah, we have to do this. We're gonna have to do this. Now I got me talking Hollywood stuff, y'all. Y'all got me talking. We're gonna get this going. Clockwork Orange. I'm gonna have to go and rewatch that one, brother Jason. Yeah, and this is one of Myron's favorites. Yeah, Myra loves. There's a scene in the very beginning of that movie. I think it's towards the beginning of the movie, and it has Matthew McConaughey when he's doing that that part. Yeah, it's just a scene in the movie, and it is what it is. To this day, I don't even understand what the significance is behind that scene. Probably got to watch some documentaries or whatever to probably tell you what that actually means and how that came about. Speaking of Matthew McConaughey, he did a Guy Ritchie movie called The Gentleman. The Gentleman. That was one of Guy Ritchie's more recent gangster films. Pretty good one. It's pretty good one. Definitely not my top 3 Guy Ritchie films, but maybe 4 or 5 of the Guy Ritchies. You know what I mean? Yeah, and Ken's like, I doubt Fresh watched it. Yeah, Fresh didn't. It was Myron. Myron's always talking about that. Brother Hayoka, look up SIT, synthetic, innovative thinking. The 5 processes are subtraction, division, multiplication, task, unification, and dependency, or the fantastic. Bro, I'm looking at math now. I'm looking at algebra right now, man. 4 bracket plus 1 in closed bracket, Sex in the City. 4. Oh, okay. I'm gonna check that out, bro. Brother Hayoka's gonna make me. I'm gonna wind up with a master's degree or some shit. Rocking with you, bro, and I appreciate that. Anyone who challenges me to think, I'm on it. They made the 5 inventing processes into characters. 4 plus 1. Look at any movie on and see. Okay. I'm going to check that out. You know what I mean? So peace to you, bro. Thanks for everything. Slevin, yes. Miss AK, lucky number Slevin, yes. That's a good one. Bruce Willis, kind of hard to go wrong with Bruce Willis. That is a yes. Definitely in my top 15. Definitely. I love the way that movie flows. Lucy Liu, that's Lucy Liu, right? Yeah, Lucy Liu was in that one. She did an outstanding job. Again, another great story. Ben Kingsley. And what's the name of the brother? I've talked to him too. He's a pilot as well. God dog, what Miss AKA lady? What's the name of the brother? The from Lean on Me and all that was in Robin Hood. What is his name? That actor. He's also in that movie. Great movie. Yeah, Lucky Number 11. It's a great movie. Shadow in Chinese with subtitles. Shadow. I'm gonna check that one out. And yeah, Hayoka speaks in code. You need to compile it to understand. Yeah, bro. We gonna figure out that code. We gonna break that code, man. That's what I love about that one. We got all kind of great minds over here. Morgan Freeman, thank you. Morgan Freeman was in that one. Ben Kingsley, Morgan Freeman, Bruce Willis, Lucy Liu. Yes, definitely my top 15. That was Lucky Number 7 was a great, especially the way the movie started. Great. Go see that, guys. If y'all haven't seen that, that is a good one. That is a good one. You know what I mean, brother Helke? Yeah, man, you got to understand, bro. I got a Cincinnati, Ohio public school education, bro. That's my foundation. You're going to make me go out here and like really learn some shit, bro. But I appreciate it. Keep me on my toes, man. Keep me on my toes. So listen, y'all, I got to go. I'm back. The next hurricane comes, y'all run. All right, get out the way. Get out the way. Don't stay. Don't stay. And we're going to be talking about bug out bags and stuff like that. We're going to talk about different gear. We're going to be talking about, like how to properly prep. And we're not talking about dig a hole, some bunker somewhere. Like, no, just how to properly prep. What you should have at home, ready to go in case things get bad. You can jump in the vehicle and be gone within 15 minutes, be on your way. You know what I mean? That's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to talk to Jay Swans about that and get that going. And while we're at it, we'll probably talk about good weapons for home defense. That M14 you see back there is not a home defense weapon. It's not. That's for something completely different. But we'll talk about what type of home defense weapons you might want to think about for your home and for your family. Weapon safety, all that kind of good stuff. That's coming up too this week. And we got that show about DeSantis. I might push that back a little bit. He's doing such a good job. I don't know. I want to at least let him get through this hurricane stuff. And then maybe, because the thumbnail's out there, I'm going to talk to Jay Swans because that's really what he wanted to do. I'm going to see if he wants to still run this show on Sunday or wait till next week. But again, shout out to Governor DeSantis for doing a good job with this hurricane, with this tragedy that we're dealing with now. Shout out to President Biden for also supporting Florida, all the Floridians out here. And shout out to all the Americans who are coming from all over, from Mississippi, from Georgia, from Ohio, from Wisconsin. I mean, they were coming from Virginia. We saw them all coming down to help out their fellow Americans. Yes, they're making some money, but you know what? They don't have to come. All money ain't good money. They're really coming down to help people out. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Y'all know what it is. Miss AKA lady, I see something new every time I watch it. Amazing writing. Yeah, Lucky Number 7 was a great movie. Great movie. Brother Hayoka, but if you do have a bunker, that's hilarious. If someone has a bunker, you build the bunker and then people like me will come take your bunker if you don't know what type of weapons to have to defend said bunker. You need to be listening to me. You got a bunker, you definitely need to be listening to me so you can know what you have to do to defend that bunker. Sorry, we're out of here. Thank y'all so much. Y'all know what it is. I'm DL Saint. This is the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast. I'll be talking to y'all later real soon, man. I'll be back tomorrow and Sunday and Monday. We're going to be making it happen, y'all. So peace.
Darn, that's the end.